I drove a 1998 Ford truck for 22 years. It had rust on the bumper and the air conditioning didn't work. My neighbor Joe bought a new Corvette every 3 years. He took cruises to the Bahamas. He ate steak dinners while I ate bologna sandwiches. People called me smart. They called Joe irresponsible. Today, Joe and I are in the same nursing home. We eat the same mushy peas. We share a room separated by a thin curtain. The only difference is that I am writing a check for $14,000 a month for my bed, and Joe is paying zero. My name is Walter. I am 78 years old, and I am here to tell you that the American dream is a trap designed to catch the people who follow the rules. If you have a savings account, if you have a paid-off house, if you have a nest egg, you are not safe. You are a target. In this video, I am going to explain exactly how I lost $850,000 in less than 5 years. I will explain the Medicaid Spend-Down, the brutal math of the look-back period, and why saving money was the single biggest mistake of my life. Turn off the TV. Put down the phone. You need to hear this before you save another penny. You know the fable of the ant and the grasshopper. The ant works all summer saving food for winter. The grasshopper plays and sings. When winter comes, the ant is warm and fed, and the grasshopper freezes. That is a lie. In the modern American healthcare system, when winter comes, the government kicks down the ant's door, takes all his food, and gives it to the grasshopper. I owned a hardware store in a small town. I opened at 6 in the morning and closed at 8 at night, 6 days a week for 40 years. I missed baseball games. I missed date nights. Why? Because I was terrified of being poor in my old age. I saved everything. I maxed out my IRAs. I put cash in CDs. When I retired at 65, I had nearly $1 million. I felt like a king. I thought I was self-sufficient. I thought I would never be a burden on anyone. Then my wife, Martha, got sick. It started with small things, forgetting keys, leaving the stove on, then the diagnosis, Alzheimer's. I tried to care for her at home. I did it for 2 years. But when she started wandering into the snow at night, the doctor told me I couldn't do it anymore. She needed 24-hour skilled nursing care. So I went to the best facility in town. I sat down with the administrator. I asked how much it would cost. She looked at my financials and smiled. She said since I had assets, I was a private pay patient. The rate was $450 a day. That is $13,500 a month. That is $162,000 a year. I asked about financial aid. I asked about Medicare. She laughed, a polite corporate laugh. She said Medicare only pays for the first 100 days of rehab. It doesn't pay for long-term custodial care. And Medicaid, she said I was way too rich for Medicaid. I had to spend my own money first. Too rich. I looked at my bank account. I looked at 40 years of sacrifice, and I realized it wasn't a savings account anymore. It was just a checking account for the nursing home. This is where the nightmare begins. It's called the Spend-Down. To qualify for Medicaid, the government program that pays for my neighbor Joe's bed, you cannot have more than $2,000 in countable assets. $2,000. I had $800,000. So the system tells you to spend it, but you can't just give it to your kids. If you give it away, they punish you. You have to spend it on care. Every month, I wrote a check for $14,000. First year, $168,000 gone. Second year, another $170,000 gone. Third year, Martha got worse. She needed special medications. The price went up to $16,000 a month. I watched my life's work evaporate. My neighbor Joe got sick around the same time. Liver failure from 40 years of drinking. He went to the same nursing home. The administrator looked at Joe's financials. He had nothing, no savings, no house, just a leased truck and a pile of credit card debt. She stamped his paper, Medicaid approved. From day one, the taxpayers paid for Joe's bed. They paid for his meals. They paid for his pills. I was sitting in the visitor's chair next to Martha, watching my bank balance drop to zero, while Joe was down the hall watching TV on the government's dime. I asked the social worker if the care was different. I asked if I was getting better doctors because I was paying $14,000 a month. She looked down at her shoes and said, "No, it is the same staff, same food, same building. I paid a premium for the privilege of being responsible." You are sitting there thinking, why didn't I just transfer the money to my son? Why didn't I hide it? Because of the 5-year look-back period. The government knows you want to protect your money, so they have a rule. When you apply for Medicaid, they audit your finances for the last 60 months, 5 full years. They look at every check, every withdrawal, every digital transaction. If they see you gave your grandson $10,000 for college 3 years ago, that is a penalty. If they see you transferred the title of your truck to your daughter, that is a penalty. They take the total amount you gave away, divide it by the average cost of the nursing home, and that is how many months they refuse to pay for you. I couldn't give a dime to my children. I was trapped. I had to burn the money myself. And here's the kicker. The house. I had paid off my house in 1995. It was worth $350,000. It was supposed to be the inheritance. The social worker told me the house is an exempt asset while I'm alive. She said I didn't have to sell it to qualify for Medicaid. I felt a moment of relief. At least the kids would get the house. I was wrong. It is called the Medicaid Estate Recovery Program. Sure, they don't take the house today, but the moment Martha died and the moment I die, the state puts a lien on the property. They track every dollar they spent on our care. When we are both gone, they force the sale of the house to pay themselves back. My kids won't get the house. They will get a letter from the state attorney general saying, "Thank you for your parents' business. Please vacate the premises." I am angry. You can hear it in my voice, but I'm not angry at Joe. Joe played the game better than I did. I am angry at myself. I followed the rules of a game that doesn't exist anymore. If I could go back 10 years, if I could talk to the Walter of 65, here is what I would scream in his face. Number 1, don't keep assets in your name. I should have set up an irrevocable trust 10 years ago. Not a revocable trust. That does nothing. An irrevocable one. If I had moved the house and the savings into the trust 5 years and one day before Martha got sick, the government couldn't have touched it. It would have been invisible. Number 2, stop paying off the house. I rushed to pay off my mortgage. Idiot. Cash trapped in a house is useless. It doesn't pay for groceries, but it builds a big fat target for the estate recovery lien. I should have kept a mortgage and kept the cash liquid, or gifted the liquid cash while I was healthy. Number 3, gift early. I wanted to be the benevolent patriarch who leaves a big check in his will. That was ego. I should have given my children their inheritance when I was 60. Here is $20,000. Pay off your student loans. Here is $50,000. Buy your first home. If I had given it away early, outside the 5-year window, the money would have stayed in the family. Instead, it went to a healthcare corporation that pays its CEO $10 million a year. I am almost out of money now. I have about $4,000 left. Next month, I will officially be poor enough for the government to help me. I will finally be equal to Joe. My daughter came to visit yesterday. She was crying. She said she was sorry I lost everything. I told her I didn't lose it. I had it stolen, legally. Listen to me. Being middle class is the danger zone. If you are super rich, you can afford private care forever. If you are poor, the government pays for everything. But if you are in the middle, if you are the saver, the worker, the rule follower, you are the meal. Don't be like Walter. Don't save yourself into poverty. Talk to an elder law attorney, not a regular lawyer. They don't know anything about Medicaid. Get an elder law specialist. Set up the trust. Move the assets. Start the 5-year clock now. Because when the winter comes, and it will come, the government doesn't care if you were an ant or a grasshopper. They just want to know if your check clears. My check doesn't clear anymore. My name is Walter, and I am proof that in America, broke pays more.